Hello, everyone. I am excited. I just finished working with a private client, and of course, with permission to share about the topic and subject that we were walking on, not necessarily her name because that wouldn't be cool, but permission to share about the topic that we worked through to allow her to experience breakthrough subconsciously, internally, and to completely shift away from the thing that she felt was keeping her stuck and binding her up that she just couldn't quite figure out on her own. And that is the power of using the transformative experience of our unconscious mind and getting through those things that we feel like are causing us to stay stuck in a bind. And hers was resisting rest. Very much a type personality, a go-getter, motivated, driven, all things that she had been praised for growing up, that she had been made to believe she had to be. And there was this internal subconscious belief that she had to be this thing in order to be. So a thing you have to be in order to be. And for her, it was, I have to be this in order to be loved. And this is the core and the root of so much of it for us, that I have to be this in order to be fill in the blank. And for her, it was to be loved by her parents, to be seen by her parents, to have a place in the space that was her home, that was this relationship among the context of her siblings. And for so many of us, that's what it is. And that leads to resisting rest when we're older, when we have families of our own, when we're raising children of our own, in marriages or in relationships of our own, we often model and pattern what we saw growing up. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with you if you experience this. But if you are experiencing resisting rest and like what she did, getting to the point of complete burnout, complete adrenal fatigue, and going to what most of us will go to, something externally, going to the doctor and saying, I don't know what's wrong with me, and having all kinds of tests ran, to check and see if it's your hormones or if it's this or if it's that. But believing and knowing maybe external things do have some sort of a benefit and do help to some degree, but there's something internally that says that's not the key. And when you tune into that and listen to that, know that and understand that, then you open yourself up to going into a deeper place where you know there's more, and allowing yourself to experience receiving access to the more that is there, to what is really there, not to this facade or these external stories that say, well, this is what's there, and listening to other people's opinions of what it could be and continuing running off to try these other things and finding that you're wasting time. This is a lot of it, is that resisting rest is not wanting to waste time, because there's this understanding in our mind that says, well, time really is all that you have. Time is all that there is. How are you using it? How are you investing it? Are you doing enough with it? And according to who? According to what checklist? And what's the story running in your head and in your mind if you don't check things off in the certain time, or in a certain time, or in a certain way? And then it's almost like this invisible internal checklist that you hand in, and someone says, good job, gold star, thumbs up. And then even though when you wake up the next day, you completed checking all the things off that, there's another task. And you're like, oh, gosh, this never ends. And so her experience was around the internal breakthrough and subconscious transformation that she felt around this resistance of rest, knowing I just need to rest. I need to slow down. I need to go within. I need to take it easy. I need to breathe. I need to do all these things. And she was met with these things when she went to the doctor after complete burnout, complete emotional exhaustion. And I've experienced this myself. And when you do experience, you know that that's exactly what you need to do, but you're almost frustrated because you're told that's what you need to do. And no one likes to be told what they need to do, right? Because we already know what we need to do. And so when we're told, it's like, don't tell me what to do. But it was this experience of like, what does this even mean? Receiving this prescription of R&R, right? Rest and relaxation, and going, I don't even know what this means. Like you're speaking Japanese. I don't understand. I don't comprehend. And even though there's something internally in your spirit that says, yes, you do understand. Yes, you do comprehend. And there's a spirit whisper that says, rest in me. And this is a beauty of where it comes in for me personally. And for her, what she said, a certain scripture and verse came up for her. She said, I know this is the Psalm 62. And I'm familiar with scripture, but I don't have it all memorized. I don't know what it is. And she said, there's a Psalm 62 here. And I used to tell me what more. And she said, truly my soul finds rest in God. My salvation comes from him. And she had been going to man. She'd been going to man. She'd been going to herself. She'd been going to others. Anything external outside of herself, she was going to, and realized this is the problem. This is it. And that was part of the key in transformation to the breakthrough, and understanding that her mind was giving her this perception that it was done, it was over, the battle was already won, because there's this logical understanding, well, the battle is already won because it's won in God, and there's nothing I need to do except literally rest in him and be in his presence. And I was fighting that, I was resisting that, I was fighting the rest that he calls me to take and to have in him. And I thought that I needed to do more to win. And this ease and this dropping in of, I don't need to do anything to be more for him or to be with him or reside with him or live with him and allow him to dwell within me. So no, it's not true that the battle has been won by the enemy, but that was the story that her mind was playing. She said, I quote, it often feels like there's an enemy inside of me who's gotten the best of me. And I can relate. I imagine you can relate. That's often how it feels to describe it to someone when you're trying to explain it in a way that you hope that they understand what you're going through and what it's like to live with this resistance to rest, even though logically and consciously you wouldn't, right? And it wasn't that she had a difficult time sleeping, it was that she couldn't find rest in the things that she was doing each and every day. It was never enough. There always was more that had to be done, more work, more this, more that, more to-do list, more checklist, more task list, that had her feel like just this overdrive kind of drive. And there was no rest in that. And she said, I love this because I felt like I like literally just got the cure. And it's a far greater cure than any doctor has ever given me, that any prescription that could be written, even though I know it's like literally the same as the prescription that was written, R&R, rest and relaxation. Just take it easy. You need to slow down. But it was this not slowing down in the essence of the world's definition of slowing down, because there's so much of a hustle and grind definition and expectation of that. But there's such a different experience of that when you're slowing down and you're resting in God. You're putting everything in the hands of the one who's already made a way, understanding you don't need to make a way, and there's actually nothing for you to do to make a way. Even if you try to, it's not going to alter the way that's already been made because the plans have already been laid. And when you're resting in the right space and place, it simply is just what it is, but in a good way, in a restorative way for your spirit and for your soul that goes, oh, yes, like an exhale. So in order to take it slow and get some rest, it seems like, well, no, you need to throw it back at them. Like you have no idea. Like if the doctor was to write your prescription R&R and you're thinking, this is it? Where did you go to school? You crazy fool. Is this a joke? Is this a waste of time? Have you lost your freaking mind? Because that's generally what happens when we get the prescription of rest. And we notice there's something inside of us that knows that that's what we need, but we're resisting it. So why would anyone resist rest? Not a rest, but rest. Ease, relaxation of dropping in and tuning into simply being. Because there's a story in our mind that says it has to be a different way. It must be a different way. You must go this way. And it's constantly energetically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually pulling us in a million different directions and taking us away from who we are and whose we are and what we're called to be. Not necessarily what we're called to do, but what we're called to be when we're doing. And there's a big difference. And that was a revelation, a connection, and awareness for her in her experience. And after this, she said, oh my gosh, this doing nothingness feels like ease. It feels like rest, restorative in my spirit and my soul. It's like now my soul knows what my spirit knows. And now there's an energetic match and a beautiful alignment to that. And an allowance for that, a space for that created within me for that, that says yes to that, that will tell me if I'm not doing that. Because that's what it is. It's a spirit that needs rest. It's a spirit that's inside of you, within you, calling out to you, saying, rest, my love. Just rest. Just be held. Just be held in the arms of your Father. And in that, you can relax, you can ease in, and you can experience within what rest really is. It was such a beautiful experience. And I'm sharing this, but I can't help but wonder if that's what your spirit has been calling out for you that you need, and that's what you've been hearing within, not necessarily within your ears, but where somewhere within you that has said this voice within you that keeps telling you, no matter what, it's never enough. And you are ready for a breakthrough, just like she had, and an awareness of an alignment of your spirit and your soul to say yes, and an internal space created for that to be that. When you're ready for that, I'd love to connect with you. This is available in the private work that I do with my clients and the personal work that I do with my clients, the one-to-one work. And this is truly the beauty and magic of it, because outside of that, externally, we can have all of this knowledge, all of this knowing, all of this effort, all of this doing, and all of this trying to make a way and trying to create to get a thing. But there's something about working with what is already within you internally and subconsciously that allows this breakthrough to naturally and easily, effortlessly, just simply occur. And that's part of the beauty and the magic of the way that I work with people. And I'd love to work with you if that's what you are ready for too. So you can find out more information in the description below this video at re-write-your-life.com if you are ready to take that step within and truly rewrite your life from the inside out. I love you guys, and that's all I got for today. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.